Good morning. I am Carla Gibson with the Reach Healthcare Foundation. I'm also the Behavioral Health Action Team co-chair for the Healthy KC initiative at the Greater Kansas City Chamber. It is my job to welcome you all and to moderate this wonderful event that we have planned for you today. This event is a collaborative effort put on by the Workplace Wellness Action Team and the Behavioral Health Action Team. We came together to provide a vendor mental health showcase, and our objectives are simple. We hope that through this event that we will highlight Kansas City businesses and organizations that support mental health in our area. We're going to engage in a brief Q&A relevant to topics around mental health, and we want to connect you all to professionals to enhance workplace mental health supports. So sit back and relax, and we will hopefully provide exactly what we plan to. Before we get started, I wanted to take you all back a little to the mental health assessment that the Behavioral Health Action Team completed and presented at the Kansas City Chamber's breakfast back in March. Just to recap a few of the data points covered at the March event and review of the workplace mental health assessment data collected, it was positive to see that just over 80% of the managers have resources available to them to refer their employees to. However, there was a bit of a disconnect as only 26% of the respondents indicated that there are resources specific for managers and supervisors to be able to best support their employees who may be experiencing a mental health concern. We know just how important the role of managers play in creating a positive, healthy, and happy culture. Next, we look at trauma. We know the importance of addressing trauma and being aware of conversations around such in the workplace. The assessment showed 39% of those who completed it have addressed trauma within the workplace within the past 3 years. We know trauma impacts everyone differently, but we certainly know it impacts both physical and emotional well-being and the employee's ability to do their work. The assessment indicated opportunities to expand support with more in-depth training, peer support, and organizational policy. Once again, trauma discussions around it and informed practices of it, again, lead to that positive work environment. The last highlight I quickly wanted to include for review was the importance of data as we consider the discussion of mental health in the workplace. We see from the assessment responses that only 1/3 of company leaders track and analyze mental health data. Of those who are, it was mostly through EAP utilization, followed by pharma and medical/behavioral claims data. How can we positively assess these types of valuable data points that are available to employers to reflect and evaluate what is and is not working in the workplace, specific to the positive culture that is desired and the inclusivity of mental health conversations? Here's a quick recap of the strength and the needs that were determined from the Workplace Wellness Mental Health Assessment. It is great to see where the KC area is strong, as well as know that some of our needs for the ongoing future may be. The assessment has lots of valuable information included in it, including local community resources, which is why we are here today. To keep this conversation going and stay true to our objectives to highlight, engage, and connect, we are hosting 3 poll questions this morning that we would like you to respond to. And then we will allow the showcase resource groups to speak to what the poll reflects. So on your screen now is the first poll question. How likely is it that your organization will implement trauma-related peer support, policy, or other practice in the next year? Highly likely, somewhat likely, or not likely at all. Please go ahead and complete that question.
Hi, my name is Lisa Cummings, Wellness Manager at Advent Health Shawnee Mission, and it is our mission to inspire our community members to feel whole of mind, body, and spirit through the programs and services we offer. And I just wanted to tell you that when we opened our programs in July, we took every safety precaution to ensure that our community members feel safe when they return to our services. One of our most popular programs to help our community members feel whole mentally is our massage therapy program. We have a great number of massage therapists who have been here for many, many years. They know our customers, they know our community, and we have a lot of very solid community members that return time and time again, week after week, to come have a massage. And I know there was a wait list. There were a lot of people calling us asking when we were going to reopen, and we did in July. And I can tell you that our service numbers are probably, our scheduled massages are probably about the number they were pre-pandemic. And I really feel like people feel safe with us, number one, and also want to come back for those wonderful massages that our therapists give. But also, I believe that people are really missing that wonderful healing touch that you get from a massage. So we really invite you to schedule one and experience it for yourself. And then we have a great lineup of Feel Whole community wellness classes. And when the pandemic hit and we started to return, we really revamped our schedule to make it more in line with helping our community members and our employees feel whole mentally. And some of the class titles we have are dealing with anxiety and depression during a pandemic and beyond, building a resilient immune system. We have some DIY type classes for open canvas nights. We have a book club that's very popular. For our first book was called Rising Strong by Brene Brown. Just a lot of great classes, a lot of great mindfulness classes. So um, check out our website for a list of those. We always keep that updated. And then another program I want to highlight is our Yoga for Medicine class. And we're doing that virtually now. We have a lot of different topics: yoga for sleep, yoga for anxiety, depression, yoga for pain management, for back pain. And what's nice is you get a little handout after class, and that handout describes what poses you just did. And so you can just carry that practice through. So we have a great variety of classes. I'm very proud of our team and what we have to offer. And I invite you to check out our website at www.adventhealth.com/wellness, and invite you to look at our schedule and schedule a massage, come to a class, or maybe take one of our virtual yoga's medicine classes. We really are here for you to help our community feel whole of mind, body, spirit. And I want to thank you, and I want you to be well. Thank you.
My name is Greg Helsel, and I'm with Advent Health Behavioral Health Department. We want to just extend a big hello and a thank you to all of you. We appreciate everything that you do, and we're here to be good community partners. I wanted to take a moment to explain some of our services. We have an inpatient psychiatric unit as well as an intensive outpatient program for anybody that might be struggling with a mental health problem or potentially a substance abuse problem. Our number, if you would like to get a hold of us for a free assessment, is 913-789-3218.
Hello, I'm Susan Crane-Lewis with Mental Health America of the Heartland. People today are experiencing more and more stress due to our current climate and the onset of COVID-19. They say that 1 in 5 Americans will experience a mental health issue in their lifetime. This means your family, your friends, your coworkers, people you know, or even yourself. So where do you go to find out more about how to deal with mental health problems and the stresses of today's world? Our organization, Mental Health America of the Heartland, can assist you with your mental health needs. We provide mental health information, education, advocacy, and support. We provide that to individuals, family members, and professionals who are dealing with mental health issues in themselves or in the people that they care about or work with. We do this through our programs: advocacy and recovery, education and prevention, and housing. We provide education on any kind of mental health topic. This includes depression, stress, and anxiety. We're currently offering a COVID coping series of 4 free webinars on topics of help to people dealing with our current pandemic. These webinars are recognizing your coping skills, envisioning your post-COVID world and future, grief during COVID, and staying social while social distancing. They're offered once a month through February. You can sign up via our website, www.mhh.org. You can also learn more about our programs and services there, and we hope that you're able to join us at one of those webinars or to contact us to receive a free educational workshop designed for your organization or group. You can also use our website to sign up for our listserv, where you'll be kept up to date on the organization and on educational opportunities that may be of interest. If you'd like us to come to your organization and promote a lunch and learn, a seminar, a workshop for your coworkers or for other folks in the community, we'd be happy to do so. Reach out, please, to Stacy Davis at 913-281-2221. We look forward to working with you.
we can look at changing a person's life to prevent suicidality in the future. So some different risk factors are a family history of suicide attempts, a history of child abuse or child maltreatment, access to a gun or medications, substance abuse disorder, or someone who's afraid to seek out mental health or behavioral health care because of the stigma that's attached to it. Warning signs would be literally talking about harming oneself, more impulsive. A person might sleep more, quick or immediate changes in a behavior that you haven't seen before, because that means that something is wrong. Often people will give away their possessions, or they will call people and tell them goodbye. A person can become very happy and content suddenly after a long period of depression. And that may mean that that person has made the decision that they're going to end their life, and so they are feeling some sort of relief. Absolutely not. It's actually a good thing to ask someone. It actually shows that person that you're not judging them, and it gives them kind of a lifeline to talk to somebody about it. Well, it's really important that you find a person that you can connect with and speak to. The important thing is to stay with that person and do some safety planning so that they have a list of people that they can call if they're having a crisis. Don't ever make any promises that you won't keep, because they'll feel hopeless again. And also, don't ever promise that you won't tell anyone about their suicidality. There are ways that a person can reach out to get help if they feel like they have no one. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is one option. There is a suicide crisis text line, and we also at Blue KC have a mindful advocate that is available 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Well, welcome back, everyone. I am going to talk about the results of our first poll. 52% of the attendees said that they were highly likely, 37% said they were somewhat likely, and 11% said that they were not likely to the response of that poll. So I am interested to hear from our panel on what your thoughts are around that response. So Lori, do you want to comment?
You know, I think it's just really relevant that most people are going through stress and that they're looking for new ways to get through the holidays and the rest of next year.
Great. What about Lisa? What are your thoughts around that response?
As you guys probably already know, it's very challenging in healthcare right now. And I think Advent Health is doing a tremendous job of really trying to keep things together for their team members. We have a lot of initiatives in place right now, but one really cool initiative from Terry Shaw, who is our CEO, is he has a campaign right now that is entitled "It's Fine Not to Be Fine." And it's basically just having our team members be aware of each other, and if somebody's struggling, to guide them to resources to help them.
Stacy, what are your thoughts? Okay.
I don't think she's on the call.
All right. Okay, very good. Does anyone else want to comment on that poll response before we move on to the second poll question?
And I'd just like to say, and unfortunately my video didn't show, so hopefully it'll show a little bit later since
Hi,
it was.
Robin. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. It was supposed to be in this grouping, but I just appreciate and value the work done in the trauma-informed space, and especially because of the times we're living in. It certainly may be creating traumatic experiences for people. But having said that, the basis of, well, my space is mindfulness. You don't know that yet, but teaching mindfulness. And so we know that understanding trauma, reducing stress, navigating the anxiety, the uncertainty, the fears, of course, all starts with awareness, right? And so really mindfulness lays the foundation for all of that work to happen. So I'm grateful to be able to offer that to folks.
Well, thank you, Robin, and I can't wait to see your video. All right, we're going to go on to the second poll question. So it is, how likely is it that your organization will be incorporating visible leader support for mental health in the next year? Highly likely, somewhat likely, or not at all likely are your options. Please go ahead and complete that poll.
Rediscover is a nonprofit community behavioral health center that provides comprehensive programs and services for men, women, and children whose lives have been affected by behavioral illness and/or substance use disorders. We help a broad range of individuals and families, including those with limited financial means or without insurance. Rediscover offers crisis services that provide immediate assistance to individuals in need. These services are there to help alleviate emergency room visits and provide resources for clients that need specific behavioral health and substance use attention. Our crisis services have extended hours that allow us to accompany more individuals in their needs. We also work with a diverse group of children, youth, adults, and families in our community. We create individualized treatment plans across a multitude of behavioral health programs to help cater to our clients' specific needs. It is our goal to help our clients pave their own path to healing through our compassionate and quality care. Rediscover has played a huge role in the suicide prevention initiative within our community. We provide substance use disorder services across a variety of different settings. Rediscover offers outpatient, residential, and transitional living programs, each of which are specifically designed to help clients overcome their addiction to drugs and alcohol. Our substance use disorder services typically have a longer duration than traditional outpatient programs, which helps us to better serve the clients that are affected by these illnesses. Rediscover is proud to offer childcare options for mothers that are in treatment. We also offer a medication treatment program for individuals living with a narcotic addiction. We have come a long way since our establishment in 1968. We have gone from being strictly volunteer-based to having numerous locations that house unique programs covering the eastern Jackson County area. We have partnerships with many other agencies and organizations, as well as the Department of Mental Health, that allow us to continually enhance and improve our services. Additionally, we have an amazing network of community donors that continues to grow each day. Rediscover hopes to continue to bring innovative, customized treatment to all of our clients in the future. By continuing to research advancements in technology and treatment, we will be able to continue providing cutting-edge behavioral health and substance use disorder services. Rediscover strives to be a driving force in quality care for not only our clients, but our most vulnerable community in need. Rediscover has a 50-year legacy of helping our clients throughout eastern Jackson County. To learn more about Rediscover and the services we provide, visit our website at rediscovermh.org. If you or someone you know are in need of services, please call us at 844-994-HEAL or 844-994-4325.
In today's fast-paced world, we can often forget to take care of ourselves and identify our needs. In the long run, this can cause depression, burnout, and turnover. How do we fight back? By identifying trauma and tackling it with proven methods, we can build resilience one step at a time. Resilience Builders begins by informing the individual with the knowledge to identify trauma at its roots. We inspire communities in different sectors to build a trauma-informed atmosphere by providing resources that are accessible to all.
One small step for man.
We guide you every step of the way using a trauma-informed lens.
For mankind.
Let's transform the world to be resilient. And it begins with you.
Welcome to Your Wellness Connection. I'm Dr. Michelle Robin. This place was designed to help you get reconnected to your own well-being. I believe we all have inside of us the tools to help us live this magnificent life. Here we use the quadrants of well-being model: mechanical health, chemical, energetical, and psycho-spiritual. It's a lot like driving your car down the road. It has 4 tires, and if all 4 of those tires have the proper amount of air, you're able to get to where you want to go more efficiently. And the same is true with wellness. It's the magic of all those areas that help you truly live a life full of joy and well-being. The current mental health crisis, and I'm going to say current the last 4 or 5 years has my attention because in 2017 to 2018, I had 4 of my personal patients die by suicide. But it really touched my heart, not only because I know what it's like to not feel seen or witnessed, because you can't see yourself until you start to love yourself. I really feel compelled, it's my calling to help people feel more alive. And I know without this type of medicine, I probably wouldn't be alive today. And so in order for you to really have the life that you're designed to have, you've got to create some type of rhythm. A rhythm with the way you move, a rhythm with the way you eat, a rhythm with the way you think. When you put all those 3 things together, next thing you know, you'll have this resilience that will help you last through any storm. Doesn't mean it's easy. It just means that you have a foundation that will help you grow and thrive during times like this. Typically in the summertime, we fill up with all this extra energy and people are a little bit more fun-loving. And then we go into, especially in the Midwest, we go into a darker season, and we have our issues with seasonal affective disorder, but we're already going in with a full bucket. This year is different because we are going in with an empty bucket because of all the fear and uncertainty around COVID-19, Black Lives Matter, the mental health crisis we're in, as well as the political climate. And so in working with some of our corporate clients, we start thinking about what can we do to help make the season a little bit brighter and lighter. And what came to us is really to focus on kindness, because when you are giving to somebody else, it actually changes your brain chemistry as well as receiving from somebody else. And so I would encourage you that if you're thinking, you know what, I really want to really come into my calling and my life's purpose, have the courage to dive in deep to help get the chains off your heart that keeps you from fully loving yourself. Because once you love yourself, you'll be able to love other people at a deeper level.
Hi, I'm Nancy Spangler. My personal and professional mission is to help individuals and organizations be both healthy and high-performing through a shared responsibility for resilience. Any worthwhile and meaningful life endeavor brings inevitable, but often valuable, physiological and psychological stress. Our ability to weather the storm, to bounce back, and to grow depends on skill sets, mindsets, and habits that can be developed and reinforced in workplaces. How did I come to this philosophy? In my early career, I've been a therapist, a health promotion program developer and deliverer, an early coach trainer, a researcher, and a graduate level instructor and mentor. In the last 20 years, I've served as a national level consultant and collaborator with employers and organizations who've been leading the way in workplace mental health. One group, HERO, the Health Enhancement Research Organization, recently released a consensus paper that I helped lead, which compiles best practices and case studies of some of these visionary employers, including a couple from the Kansas City area. You can access this hero paper on my LinkedIn page. As many of you know, the Kansas City Chamber has also been bringing employers together to talk about mental health, and our team's report released in May targeted 4 primary recommendations: visible leader support, enhancing EAP, using mental health related data strategically, and training managers. I urge you to take action in one or more of these areas, and I'm here to help you. First, I can help you to listen. One of the most powerful ways of engaging senior leaders and first-line managers around any area of health is through focused individual or group interviews. I can help you facilitate this process of action learning with key leaders and to summarize and present back to your leaders the strengths and challenges they perceive about addressing mental health and well-being. This includes areas of policy, practice, data, and resources they believe could be enhanced, and how this all fits with your company's current values and culture. Next, I can help you to lead your organization toward a culture of greater health and performance. For example, I can help you develop strategy, actions, and communications. I can review current resources, help you enhance collaboration amongst your current resources, and target additional needed resources among partners in the Kansas City area or ones I've worked with nationally. I can help you train managers, supervisors, and employees on ways of recognizing and supporting others with mental health challenges and ways that all of us can develop highly resilient mindsets, skill sets, and habits. I strongly believe we can build healthy and high-performing workplaces, families, communities, and our country through a shared responsibility for resilience. Please visit my website, spanglerhealth.com, or call me at 816-820-1870. Thank you so much.
Wow, another great group of resources for our community. So I want to give you the results of the poll. The question was, how likely is it that your organization will be incorporating visible leader support for mental health in the next year? 52% said it is highly likely, 44% said they were somewhat likely, and only 4% said not likely at all. So I would like to have Dr. Michelle Robin and Nancy Spangler. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are around that response in that question. And I would say, how about Dr. Michelle? Are you, what are your thoughts? Okay, well, Nancy, are you on? How about your thoughts, Nancy?
I'm here.
Happy to hear what you have to say as well.
Sure. I'm encouraged. I truly think that visible leader support is the one of the most important aspects of developing a culture that's accepting and is one of psychological safety, where people feel they can speak up and be themselves, and inclusive. I also think that visible leader support helps develop the next line of supervision. So first line supervisors and managers, it gives them permission to pay attention to people who may be struggling. The training that can be provided to first line supervisors is really critical as well, so that they recognize when performance declines, that it may not be that someone is just not caring about their job anymore, but maybe they are struggling. So that kind of visibility is really important. I also wanted to point out, I mentioned HERO in my video, but I also wanted to point out the Center for Workplace Mental Health, who I worked with for about 15, 16 years in Washington, completed a number of those case examples that are summarized in the HERO paper. And if employers are struggling with, well, how do I do this? There are some really great examples like EY and University of Michigan, some large employers like DuPont, But small employers like Tier 1, there are descriptions of how do you go about this? How do you talk about it? What are the ways you can communicate about it? So it's really important.
Thanks, Nancy. Well, I see that Dr. Michelle Robin is unfrozen now and able to comment. So, Dr. Robin, what are your thoughts?
Well, Carla, I'm also encouraged like Nancy. You know, what's interesting about this pandemic is we're all in the same storm. We're in different boats without a doubt, but we're all in the same storm. So as leaders, we also have to be taking care of ourselves so that we can walk the talk, so that we could be an example and give permission for the people that we serve to also take care of themselves. And so I'm also encouraged. It's bittersweet that it's taken a pandemic to get us to slow down and really prioritize well-being, but here we are, and so we're just going to keep on walking through it.
Great, thank you both. And
I love hearing that Advent locally, that their CEO is making this a point to talk about it, and I would love to see other CEOs perhaps come together, maybe the KC Chamber Roundtable, ways of normalizing that and encouraging other CEOs to take that step.
Yeah, awesome, thank you. Well, we're gonna move on to our final question. I can't believe how fast this is going. So if you could go ahead and pull up our final third question. It is, on what platform will your managers and supervisors best receive education related to mental health, trauma, resilience, etc. in the next year? And please be aware that you can actually scroll down on this question. There's a lot of options for you, and we want you to choose all that apply. So go ahead and take the poll, and we'll see you back in a bit.
Hi, my name is Jill Von Fange, and I am Program Manager at Turning Point, the Center for Hope and Healing through the University of Kansas Health System. We are a gathering place for individuals and families and friends for someone that's living with a serious and chronic physical illness. So if you have a loved one or you know of someone that you work with or that reports to you, and he or she has a serious or chronic physical illness, they are eligible to participate in Turning Point classes and programs. There are supporters, so whether it's a spouse, an adult child, little children, a best friend, if they are supporting that person through their health journey, they too are eligible to participate in our programs and classes. Here you will see what our program calendar catalog looks like. Put this together for 2 months at a time. So this is November, December. And inside, what people are going to find is emotional and physical support classes, meditation or mindfulness classes, practical issues, classes on insurance, driver's safety, resilience, nutrition, creativity, and body movement, and then also programs about for families, teens, and young children. We also list several of the educational support groups that are co-led and or hosted by the University of Kansas Health System. One caveat is that even though we are part of the health system, anyone from any medical center can come to Turning Point and participate in the programs and classes that we have.
Hi, my name is Kelly Reed, and I am the founder and managing director of Locked in Talent and Culture, which includes our consulting arm as well as our institute, a social impact vehicle that's designed to help advance workforce practice excellence at the community level and around the world. I am excited to be here with you all today to share a little bit more about our organization, who we are, and how we help our clients. But I do hope at some point in the future we'll be able to have an interactive discussion so I can learn more about your objectives and priorities and share more about how we help our clients. I have the unique privilege of being able to tell you that Locked in Talent and Culture is the world's first and currently only no-cost broker of full-scale human capital services and solutions, meaning we work as an extension of our clients' HR and procurement teams to help understand their needs and objectives in the HR and diversity and inclusion space, and then to be able to go out on their behalf to the full available marketplace of third-party experts and service providers to help our clients get not only the very best providers and experts for all of their needs from the global marketplace, but also to help them get the best of what those providers have to give. We have been able to see remarkable results of these no-cost services, which include being able to save our clients up to 90% of their time on sourcing engagements and between 30 to 60% on average in terms of savings from their budget dollars by using Locked-In, and that is the power of uncommonly independent brokerage. We are able to guarantee same or better pricing through the providers that we are able to source on our clients' behalf, as they would get if they were going out and sourcing those providers directly. Again, I hope to have the opportunity to meet with you all at some point in the future to learn more about your objectives and priorities in the HR and diversity and inclusion space, and to be able to share more details about our unique approach. In the meantime, best wishes and take care.
Hello, I'm Mindy Corcoran, co-founder of Workplace Healing LLC. In 2014, I faced a significant tragedy while I was the CEO of a wealth management firm in the greater Kansas City area. My father and oldest son were murdered in a hate crime. My return to the workplace was fraught with difficulty. And in 2018, I transitioned out of my wealth management firm, realizing our working environments need a holistic approach to restoring a hurting employee. Creating Workplace Healing LLC with Lisa Cooper has been part of my own healing process. We provide innovative resources and delivery to corporate leaders, which restore an employee's productivity following a life disruption. Meet Lisa Cooper.
Thank you, Mindy. Looking at corporate America today, we've found that 1 in 10 employees is experiencing grief at work at any given time. And as a leader or a manager, it's likely that you're not even aware of how to help that employee reintegrate into the workplace, either during or after their life disruption. You know, grief is a heart-based issue that can't be solved with a head-based solution.
Absolutely. Workplace Healing was created with the C-suite, manager and director level employees in mind. Today, each one of your employees is disrupted by COVID-19. Each working day, 1 or more of your employees could be disrupted with cancer treatments, divorce proceedings, or a death in the family. These and other life disruptions cause grief. Do you know how to restore your employee in a healthy and healing way?
We offer a 90-minute engaging workshop. Our Hope workshop provides tactical tools for you and your team to implement immediately. And our heart-based approach is what makes our content unique. We approach healing in the workplace with whole self-awareness, empathy, authentic conversation, purpose, and engagement.
It is common for us to fear that we will say the wrong thing to someone who's already hurting and potentially distraught, and no one wants to say the wrong thing. We introduce the ABLE conversation, providing you the steps to be confident in how you speak with your employee. And ABLE stands for Ask, Believe, Listen, Encourage.
Our certified Hope Workshop trainers teach this innovative tool and more, again, helping you respond and interact with an employee whose life has been disrupted.
While life is happening, we need to get back to work. Workplace healing provides the best path for you and your employees to find the right balance between head and heart. When your employee heals in the workplace, human capital is restored. The restoration of human capital is a significant component to return on investment.
You can reach us at workplacehealing.com. We're an innovative approach to healing in the workplace. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alejandra Juarez. I'm a sales executive with New Directions Behavioral Health. I'm excited to join you today as part of a Healthy KC Mental Health Resource Virtual Showcase. I wanted to share with you what I have found most important in learning during my time working at New Directions to help advocate for mental health. And what I've learned is that there are 3 barriers to access for mental health care resources. And in creating awareness about what those barriers are, we can build strategies to remove those barriers to care and ensure that we put mental health first. Those 3 barriers to care are the barriers of cost, the barriers of access, and the barriers of stigma. Now, when it comes to removing the barrier of cost, at New Directions, we've supported an employee assistance program for over 25 years to help Kansas City businesses and organizations create avenues so that employees in the community can check in on their emotional well-being and have the earliest interventions of care. Making sure that we check in on our mental health is incredibly important to building the tools that we need to overcome the challenges that life throws at us. Now, when it comes to access, of course, having many providers is of great importance. Many providers with different specialties and focus in regards to behavioral health is key. But what we like to remind everyone at New Directions that we work with is that making sure that you have the right provider, the right setting at the right time is critical to your strategy in creating access as well. Now, lastly, removing stigma. We have a lot of work to do still with regards to removing stigma and making individuals feel comfortable with accessing mental health care resources, or having empathetic conversations in the workplace that support individuals who confront mental health challenges, or maybe just they're challenged by an event that has occurred in their life. At New Directions, we work to build campaigns that help employers bring those topics forward so that we can create education and awareness of important topics like mental health and substance use prevention and awareness. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure to join you, and I hope to work with you soon.
storms. Using mindfulness, we teach practical life skills that bring relief from things like anxiety, depression, and overwhelm, while creating an internal sense of presence, peace, and resilience, no matter what is happening around you. Whether you're an individual seeking to become more centered, grounded, and living in the present moment, or you're a professional wanting to create a culture of positive growth and emotional health within your organization, we have a solution for you. We work with children, families, schools, organizations, and even governments through our variety of training resources and platforms. We offer conferences, small groups, online courses, and even summer camps. We've made it easy to integrate mindfulness into your daily life. At Mindful Momentum, our mission is this: to inspire, empower, and equip a generation of emotionally intelligent, happy, and whole individuals who, by changing themselves, change the world. Organizations like yours that have experienced our programs have reported results such as a reduction in stress and anxiety, reduced employee turnover, higher overall employee well-being and engagement, personal and professional resiliency, increased emotional intelligence and regulation, better decision-making and problem-solving, higher ability to think critically and self-manage, and an overall increase in personal awareness and happiness. Here are some of the ways that Mindful Momentum can serve your organization through small and large group live training, one-on-one mindfulness coaching, online courses and virtual seminars, professional development, and we can customize programs to fit the specific needs of your organization. At Mindful Momentum, we recommend our training for all levels of employees, from part-time entry-level positions all the way up to the owners or C-suite team. To receive a free consultation for your organization, visit mindful-momentum.com.
Carla, it looks like you're muted.
Wow, what another great group of resources for the Kansas City community. And I'm so glad that we were able to get Robin Todd from Mindful Momentum, her video in there this time. So I want to now move on to the poll results from poll 3. And it appears that the results are 47% of respondents indicated that all of the above was their response to the question, which is, on what platforms will your managers and supervisors best receive education related to mental health in the next year? Once again, 47% selected all of the above. Other selections included webinars, one-on-one engagement, ongoing monthly support, small team engagement, either live or virtual, and also subject matter videos and virtual meetings. So given that response to the question, I am interested to hear from our panel. Jill, do you want to respond to what we heard back?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great that organizations are looking at multiple ways to reach employees and provide information that might work for one person to do a live webinar and for someone else to do it via recording, or to allow employees to take time to do like a live Zoom. So I think it's great that 47% said they're willing to look at multiple platforms for providing information and support.
Great. John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Jill. I think it's great to hear that people are open to a lot of different ways, touch points, and we're sort of limited now to technology and the various ways that we can reach people. So I think everyone's trying to customize solutions to meet those different virtual capabilities, and it's great that from these organizations represented that they're open to all those touch points.
Mindy, I know this was a particular interest to you, so I'm interested to know what are your thoughts around the 47%?
Thank you, Carla. Yes, I'm glad that we got that question in, and I find it interesting how we are all learning. I learned more as an adult with a child and being a parent that there are different ways that people learn. I think when I was growing up, I had no idea how I learned best, but I'm understanding that now. And so now, as all of us, all the presenters and resources, all of us are trying to provide the best care. And that's what people who are watching, the employers, want to do. They want to provide the best care. And we have great content, but if it's not provided in the way where people best learn, then it's not going to be effective. And I think it's valuable for employers to understand what is the most effective way to help their employees and understand and learn. And then for those of us who are offering the content to be able to provide it. So I'm happy to see, and I'll be interested to see all the details of that for everyone involved so that people can learn the best way possible.
And Alejandra, do you want to weigh in on this poll question?
Yes, absolutely. So I think that what is exciting about viewing the response from the attendees is that a top to bottom approach with educating organizations about behavioral health seems to be a positive strategy in making sure that we create cultures that support behavioral health. So making sure that those managers and leadership teams have ease and access and convenience to that education and those awareness trainings is incredibly positive in what we're really trying to all collectively do in messaging behavioral health resources. So of course, the work for us is to continue to provide many points of access for those busy professionals that lead teams so that they can support their own employees and make sure that we continue to make headway with removing stigma and supporting those that are challenged.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. This was a great group of videos, and I think now we are going to invite everyone back on the screen, and we're going to have the broader Q&A happen at this point in the game. So if everyone can join me in the panel. We do have a couple of questions from the chat. How would you envision, so I'm going to kick it off with a question. How would you envision a successful conversation or event within our community, beginning with local CEOs on the topic of mental health? And I'm going to just to get started, I'm going to throw that out to Dr. Robin. Do you want to respond to that, or do you need me to repeat that question?
Carla, I've got the question. I think it's a great question. We've seen it for years that a lot of people are taking action, but the leadership's not supporting. So I think it'd be great for the people that are engaged right now, with the Advent Health and New Directions and Mindful Blue, who are bigger companies, to pull their CEOs in, and of course Garmin with Haley, and the people that are already investing their resources by allowing to spend time on this project would be a great way to start to bring those CEOs and possibly with your CEO, Brenda Sharp, Carla. So how do we already get people that are engaged in this and start a conversation about how do we lead by example?
Yes. Nancy, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, I would love to add that maybe 20 years ago, Kansas City had the Community Initiative on Depression. And it was a leading national interest because other communities weren't talking about mental health. One of the aspects that we included was a letter from the CEO. So we didn't bring the CEOs together. We brought together representatives from HR, benefits, wellness, not the level of the CEO, but that letter to the CEOs and a 1 to 2 hour training for managers and other trainings for employers and a couple of newsletters actually had the impact of increasing EAP scheduled individual therapy sessions by about 30%. That's pretty significant. So it doesn't take a whole lot. It takes the first step. So if anybody's wondering, what could we do? That letter from the CEO could be really important. So if the chamber had a mechanism for reinforcing that or encouraging that, I think that would be a really great step.
That's great. Let's see, we have another question. Robin Todd, what can business leaders do immediately to reinforce the importance of their team members practicing mindfulness while in a work from home dynamic? Great question.
Yeah, it is a great question. Thank you. And I'd really reiterate what Nancy and Dr. Robin already said in the sense that as leaders, we need to be leading by example, having conversations, being vulnerable to share kind of our own struggles, ways that as leaders we're navigating, the challenges of our home environment, of the uncertainties and fears. So certainly I think that is incredibly important. Perhaps implementing some things like, starting a meeting and giving everyone permission and doing it together, just taking 30 seconds to just simply breathe and to get present, really giving permission to people and letting them know the value and the importance of being present. And that we're all a work in progress and we're all in this together, but there are certainly ways, but it starts by really leading by example, which was already mentioned.
So I have a question I'm very interested in, and I'm going to throw that out there and maybe pick one of you to start the answer. How can we best reduce stigma around mental health at work? So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, let's go with John.
Yeah, Carla, thanks for asking the question. I think that's a really important topic. And what we see is that the stigma often happens because we identify with our own psychology, our own automatic brain, right? And we think that there's something wrong with me, right? And I'm a former athlete. And so when I would hurt my shoulder or my knee, I would go see someone to get help, right? To help improve and help the healing process. But when our brain is having some issues, right, which everyone's does it at different times, we often identify ourselves with that part of who we are. And so we there's some shame that comes along with that. And so we're hesitant to say, hey, I need some help, right? And so at the point that we can create the awareness that, hey, I'm not my automatic brain, I'm not some of these automatic thoughts, automatic emotions that are popping up, right now I can go, there's some separation, right? That there's some awareness there that makes it easier for me to go and ask and get help.
I'm going to stick with that question and see if there's anyone else that's dying to respond to that, because I am very interested in this whole stigma issue. Is there someone else that wants to respond to that?
I will just mention that, I completely agree. We all have different tolerances and we've been trained differently about how we think about stress. When do you suck it up and just go on and just accept it? And we've been, particularly our generation, a lot of us were conditioned, you just have to keep pushing forward and that's how you achieve. And so I think that we also have to recognize that not everybody is going to be in a place to want to come forward and necessarily speak with someone about help. And that's where having these variety of resources and learning tools that give them a place to go privately, that let them work through things to the place that they realize, maybe now I'm ready to talk to someone, maybe it's a good time. And I think that that's one of our opportunities, is not to say, the answer can't always be we're going to talk to someone or we're going to do a group session. There's got to be room for someone to privately journey through that place to get to their own tolerance about, now I can talk to someone, now I'm ready to have another conversation. And they may choose who those conversations are with. It may not necessarily be a trained professional. It may be someone that they value and they value their opinion. But the point is, there's a place where they get to talking, and that's going to be different places for everyone. And I just think we need to always leave room for that. And that's kind of what we tried to do with Stress OS, is make sure that there's a private place people can go to get the help they need until they're ready to ask people for the help they need.
Great.
Carla, I have an example of this. When the pandemic started, one of our Advent Health psychologists and our director of behavioral health and one of our nurse managers, they started a monthly call, and it's just to vent and to talk. And they have some topic areas that they bring up, but I just remember back in March, everyone was just silent on those calls, and nobody spoke up. But now, and we get about 75 or so team members that go on to those calls. And now people are much more open about sharing, but it took several months to get to that point. So I'm really happy that people are opening up more, and but it took a while to get to that point.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to ask one more question. I think we have time for one more. So the question is, how can we help employees with mental health issues be most successful at work? Mindy, do you want to tackle that one?
Sure, I'd be happy to. And I love all the answers that we're getting from all of our resources that are here as well. You know, I will tackle that by saying that as from our perspective at Workplace Healing, what we work on is helping the employer understand that they can get some training, obviously from so many of us that are here as a resource, but they can get training on what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. And that's why the effectiveness of delivering the content was a really important question, because many of us are afraid to talk to someone who we don't understand. You know, we can't physically see that they're hurting. We can't physically see that they might be distressed, especially when it's a mental health or a grief event. And so but what we notice is lack of productivity. We notice something is wrong, and then we want to address it in the best way possible. And so I think that that's the importance and the care of employers to take the best resources for them and their employees, and to engage their employees in how can we help you be better, because that's what humans want. They want to be noticed, they want to be valued, and they want to be cared for on both ends, from the employer side and the employee side, so that we can be productive people in our world.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm going to let Alejandra, do you have a response to that question before we close out?
Absolutely. So I think that it's important to think of processes to put in place so that you can support all employees equally. This won't be an isolated event where someone may be facing a challenge that needs support. This may be an entire population within your own workforce that may need to find the safety and support from their own leaders. So I think that putting best practices in place that you can apply when these things come about is important. And we cannot stress this enough. I think all of the contributors here today would say making sure that we educate those in leadership roles of the importance of supporting individuals with life challenges or emotional distress is incredibly important, because if you yourself have not been affected by a mental health or behavioral health concern, you may not be able to understand it, but it's important for those in a leadership position to understand, have empathy, and be able to support their own teams.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you all for participating today. I'm going to ask that we let Madison go ahead and wrap us up. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Madison, for a ending to our great session today.
Thanks, Carla. Thanks, everyone. My name is Madison Moore. I'm the program manager for Healthy KC at the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce. And I just want to first thank all of our panelists that are on our screen here today, and Carla as well for moderating the discussion. I think it was a great discussion, and I really hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you to all the attendees for joining us this morning. And I also want to thank our Healthy KC sponsors for supporting our work. We will be sending out the recorded version from today's event. I know it was a lot of great information in a very short amount of time. So we have recorded it and we will send it out to everyone. I actually will be sending out day 1 and day 2. So if you didn't get to join for day 1, we'll send that information as well. And we also will be sending out the information, the contact information for the panelists for both days. So you can reach out to them if you have any questions or if you want to follow up on any of the services that they offer. So stay tuned to that. And then we also will be sending out a post-event survey. This is our first time doing this showcase, and we know that next year we're really going to be focusing more on mental health, and we want to be able to serve the needs of our community and our members. So we need your feedback in order to make these events even better in the future. So I appreciate everyone's time today. I hope you have a great rest of your day and be well. Thanks, everyone.